Hello, everyone. It is the Tonic Man. Did you hear what that little promotional piece said? The only one in the world. It's been on it goes on and on. Every word is exactly the way it's been since 1943 when my dad made his first batch commercially. For those of you on the call for the very first time, you will enjoy this little bit of history. Imagine this JC Tonic has been used now since 1943. And my father really put it on the market commercially by fluke. Out of need, because he was giving it away to people and he couldn't afford it any longer. So he decided he had to charge a little bit. Well, it just took off, and by 1945, he actually formed a company to do the business. And we are drinking that same product. I've been drinking it since I'm 11 years old or so. My brother Norman has been drinking it forever. We have people on the call tonight who have been drinking it for over 30 years. We have had people on the call in the past, you've heard it over the last few months, who have been drinking for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And guess what they all have in common? They all have in common that they no longer have to go to the doctor every second day. They no longer getting a cold. They no longer imagine. They are in good health. That's the common denominator. And that is the most difficult part to explain to a person today, is that if you drink this, you may not end up in a hospital. You may not have to go to a doctor. You may not get a cold again. And isn't it really difficult to convince people that that's a real possibility? Because a lot of you on the call, and more of you who are now tuning in to doing the business, understand that it's a bit difficult to really get somebody enthusiastic, because it's all foreign to them. They've only heard the other side of the coin. They've never heard this side. So we've had phone calls over the last few weeks, and last week and the week before in particular, one of our very seasoned ambassadors, Lenny, explained to everybody how you approach people, how you don't want to talk them to death and so on. We're going to continue talking about things like that. We've invited Lenny to the call tonight to give you another tip on how you do a presentation, how you build a business, and so on. And we'll have him on in a little bit and let you all hear that. The best thing to hear is from your fellow ambassadors of health how to make a presentation, because they've made plenty of them that failed, just like I have. I'm still talking to some people who I started talking to 30 years ago, and they still think I'm a nut. Oh, Anthony, come on. That junk your father was making? Yeah, the junk my father was making that saved all these lives. Did you like our email message the other day? Save a life. That's what we want you all to do. Go out and save just one life. Just save one life every day. Well, every week, because every day you'll run out of people in your hometown. Because once people drink this, they know it works, and they will continue unless, of course, you don't follow up. And to make that point very clear, we have another of our seasoned ambassadors, our pal Betty from Canada, who is an expert at following up. And she has prepared a very, very quick overview of what you must do in order to keep that prospect who you've turned into a customer as a customer and keep them on it for a lifetime. And we have folks on the call tonight who heard that, did it, but after they got well, they stopped drinking, and guess what? A few years later, they started getting unwell again. So the key is, how do we get people to continue drinking it? And oh yes, we have a guest tonight who also has been drinking for about 30 years. That's besides Betty and besides Lenny. Well, Lenny, pretty close to probably over 20 years. But we have another guest who also is going to tell you tonight about her unfrequent trips to the doctor's office. So folks, let me first ask Betty to come on and just quickly give you that overview. And of course, as soon as you hear it, you'll know. Betty, just *6 and we'll bring you right on into the call. And all of the rest of you who are going to speak tonight, you can *6 and get on. But until you speak, mute your phone so that there are no background noises, okay? Betty O, are you there?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking just the other day, I just celebrated a birthday, and I'll be 70 this year. I was thinking back 31 years I became involved with you and your dad and the JC Tonic, and the years have just flown by. I cannot believe I'm going to be 70 next year, but I guess part of that is because I don't get sick, and I feel so good on the tonic. So I still feel like I'm in my 30s most days. And I don't look my age at all. People maybe give me 45 or 50, so that's always nice. But looking back at when I started, I, of course, did this for the product. I saw the product had saved my dog's life. It had helped my mom a great deal and given me extra time to spend with my mom. But I never really looked at this as a business. And even today, even though I make pretty good money and even though I have a great business going, I still do it for the product. And basically nothing has changed. I'll introduce the tonic to somebody, and I will, within a few days, once the product is shipped to them, I will be on the phone asking them how they're doing on their tonic. I'll advise them things they need to know. I just really show people that I care, and I'll continue on and do that. And I've done that for 31 years now. All the time people say to me, wow, I can't believe you're calling me back. That's a compliment to me. And during those conversations, when I'm hearing their stories and hearing how the product is working for them, and they're asking questions of me, and I'm trying my very best to advise them, you get to know these people, on a one-on-one basis, and they get to become your friends. And this is one thing I've always enjoyed in those 31 years. Aside from really, really helping others, a blessing for me, it's making friendships that will last you for a lifetime and knowing that you're doing something to help others. I always say to my husband, when it's time for me to kick the bucket, whenever that'll be, I said I want on my tombstone the words, she made a difference. And I think in this world, especially nowadays, because a lot of people are in desperate situations and they're running out of hope, they need somebody there, somebody to support them, even just as a friend, to let them know that you're calling them, to let them know that you care, to ask them how the JC Tonic is working for them. This product has changed my life forever, and it continues to do that. I guess in the beginning I never realized how long I would be doing it. But I loved what I was doing. My mom and dad always said, try to find something you love to do, and that'll bless your life forever. So I've loved it for 31 years. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. But I keep it very, very simple. I follow up with everybody. I see how they're doing, and I'm there as a friend more than a business person, although the business, of course, is there for everybody, and I do explain that. And for those who want to get involved, I'm there to help them as well, and I'll speak to people for them on their behalf. I've always, Anthony, just kept it very, very simple. Just pick up the phone, call them back, see how you can help them, and just listen, and that's kind of the bottom line for me. I haven't really changed anything over the years. I just do the same, and I love what I'm doing, and it blesses my life every day.
Well, Betty, that is the bottom line, and it's the best line, and you have a lot of comrades in the group who do exactly the same thing and have great success. I wanted everybody to understand that it's the simplest thing in the world, but the most important thing is the staying in touch. Nothing else matters except if you stay in touch. You don't have to call for an order. As a matter of fact, don't call for an order. Call to find out how they are. Sure, call if there's some kind of a special deal and you want to make sure they got the news. That's a different story, but don't wait for those things. You just call periodically. You make a call list and say every 6 weeks I call this person, every 5 weeks I call that person, and so on and so forth. And believe me, they will do exactly as Betty said. They will become your friends, and they will trust you and have confidence in you and so on. And the business just grows its legs on its own. Thanks a lot, Eddie, for that, and appreciate it. Remember, everybody, when you play this back, you can make notes of anything. But in the meantime, if you are not speaking, please make sure your phone is on mute at your end so there are no background noises coming on in. I'm going to take this opportunity right now to ask another gal who is just about the same age. I'm going to let her tell you her story and all about it, because it's a really great, another one of these 30-plus stories. Nancy, hello there. Say hello and take it away.
Good evening, everybody. I'm calling you from a little town called Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And I have been drinking JC Tonic for 32 years. And I want to give a shout out to Anthony, first of all, thanking him for sharing the JC Tonic with us and that I was able to take it for so many years. So first of all, I want to say that for being on it for 32 years, I don't even know what I could have been sick with because I haven't been. But there are some special things that I realize that it has helped me with, and I'm going to mention some of those now. So I know, number one, it builds up your immune system. And when that is built up and on a high system, you will not get a lot of viruses and infections that come along on a daily basis. And I certainly have found that out in the last 32 years. I haven't had any visits to the doctor, no walk-in clinics, no ER appointments, no surgeries. I mean, I just wake up every day, and I'm very thankful that I'm this healthy, and I just go on with my day. I should mention, too, I'm 69 years old, and I'm still working 3 days a week, and I have the stamina to do it, along with 3 children and 5 grandchildren. Also, I have found that it helps with your nails. It strengthens your nails so they don't chip and crack. It helps with your hair. You don't lose as much. I remember losing hair previous to taking the tonic, and now I don't lose any hair at all, other than just normal shedding. It has helped me with blood pressure, and I know that because when I take more of the tonic, it keeps my blood pressure at a perfect level. For those of you who can't sleep well, if you wake up during the night and you can't get back to sleep, just take an ounce of the tonic. It'll put you right back into dreamland. Okay, another thing is I have all my parts. I have not anything replaced. And I do remember when I started taking the JC Tonic, I used to get a little clicking in my knees when I would go up and down stairs. And I think that stopped within a couple of years after. So I know it has strengthened the cartilage in my knees and, of course, in all my joints. Like I said, I don't have any pain. I also have been told, too, that I don't look my age, so that's always a good thing to hear. Oh, a shout out to the Helena also, the cream that is available to purchase. In fact, just last night I used it again after doing gardening, planting flowers yesterday. When you go to bed, that's when you feel everything, and I started to get a little itching on my forearm. I got up immediately, put the Helena cream on. Within, I'd say, 5 minutes, the itching had stopped. So I like using that for those reasons, too. I do want to talk a little bit about the cleansing process. You know, you hear a lot of good news. It helped this, it helped that. But sometimes people go through a little cleansing situation. And some of my experiences of cleansing was, I remember for 3 weeks, I had drainage from my nose. So I had to blow my nose continually for 3 weeks, and then it stopped. And I had no other symptoms with it. So I knew that was a cleansing. And usually cleansing comes out any open orifice on your body. And I noticed my eyes watered a lot for a time too. And that's a cleansing that you can go through your ears, eyes, nose, any opening like that. So I recently did some hiking last week. I climbed a canyon of 1,200 feet, made it up and down. I will admit I did stop a few times to catch my breath, but I did it, and that was amazing to me too.
That old 69-year-old body still got it.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. You know, people say you can't afford to take it. I can't afford to not take it.
Oh, that is good. Oh, that is good.
So, yeah, that's my story.
You know, Nancy, that story ended on that note. I cannot afford not to take it. That's what everybody should be saying to themselves, because that is so true. The cost of healthcare that people they say, oh, I have insurance, but they have to pay the premiums. It goes on and on and on. There's also extra costs all the time, and driving to the doctor's office and all the rest. That is just a gem. I cannot afford not to take it.
Yes, especially, you know, as you get older, because you are getting older and you're going to have some challenges. But if you can stay away from the doctor and you're happier in your life, you're not sick. Who wants to be sick on a, weekly basis? So it's totally worth it for me.
I see on TV they're selling a little contraption where you can put 90 of your medication pills in there and it dispenses them automatically. Imagine when people have to get a little doodad like that to keep track and dispense them on time and so on, how you're hooked on that stuff. I mean, you never get off that circus ride,
Right, and many medications can cause other problems because they're not natural ingredients. You've got a lot of synthetic products in there, and one medication can cause you to take another medication.
Well, just those side effects that you hear about, and they even advertise them openly on TV, it makes you want to think, why would I take that medication if I'm going to get all those other problems? But they do it, and people do it, and they have that discomfort. So, folks, you've heard another great story, and it's exactly the kind of story you can repeat and share this call with other folks, because it's listening to these stories and the reasons why they should be drinking the JC that will get them to tell you, you know what, Mary, I think I'll try a bottle. And that's how to do it with these kind of stories. When people are drinking this for 30 plus years and don't have to go to a doctor, don't get sick, and can hike up 1,200 feet, tell you at 69 years old, because you're in pretty good shape. Thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And we want to see you before the next 30 years, okay? So, folks, here we are. That's another really great success story. As you know, we've got plenty of them. We wanted to give you a few other little business tips, and we're going to ask our pal Lenny to jump in there and see what he's got in his surprise grab bag of tips that he has learned over the years, as he's been an ambassador of health for many years and a very successful one at that. So, Lenny, are you there, and can you jump on in?
I am here.
Welcome, and nice to hear you, and let me give you the microphone and the platform.
All right. I appreciate that, Anthony. I'm so thrilled to be here on the call. And yes, I really, really love sharing this product with other people. And that's the first step, is to always remember to share it, not sell it. And there's a big difference. Sharing means that you care, and all of us know people, whether we work with them, whether they're family members, friends, neighbors, we know their health challenges, because everybody talks about their health. So that's why I always keep an open ear, and I'll get into a conversation. And if I know Mary has problems, which I do, I'll say, Mary, how are you doing today? How's your arthritis? And she'll, go through her deal and complain, and, oh, well, is anything helping? Oh, I take on a little cream or whatever, but, I still suffer with that. So here's the key. Oh, you should take what I take. And she'll go, well, what is it? Because, see, I stopped talking. She has to ask me, well, what are you taking, right? I just told her you should take what I take. And then let them ask you what it is. You always want to not be so serious. So I like to joke around. So if you don't have to have that personality, but, make light and say, well, I can't really tell you what it is because it's from Colombia. And they go, oh, you're kidding. And I'll start laughing. I say, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I said, have you ever heard of JC Tonic? And, of course, most people, that I knew at the time said no. And then I just be quiet. And then they're like, well, what does it do? You see how that works? I'm not doing all the talking and rattling on and going off and spilling out the whole thing of JC Tonic. They ask me, well, what does it do? So I pull out my little blue booklet and I show them different pages of what I really liked about the JC Tonic. Nowadays, we have our smartphones, tablets, and it's easy to show. So a lot of times today, what I'll do is I'll go right to my website, and I don't tell them I'm going to my website. I just say, oh, well, let me show you. So I'll type in my website address, and then I'll scroll down whatever I want to show them. But if she has arthritis, which that's what Mary has, I'll scroll down to the bottom and find out where pain is. So I'll go on there, and then I'll tap on some of the testimonials dealing with her issue. Okay, so then she'll go, oh, well, that's really good. And some people want to know what the details are. Some people will just go by the testimonials and want to try it. But if someone asks you, well, what's the ingredients and so forth? So in your fingertips, you can scroll down and show them from your site some information. But here's caution. Don't try to go through everything. You're just giving them whetting their appetite and tell them later on, when you feel comfortable, you could, I'll send you the link, and you can look at it longer if you want to. Well, here's the second question that they usually ask me. How much does it cost? Okay, that's a biggie. I said, well, I will scroll down to where the shopping cart is, and then I'll click and show them the prices. And they'll see $60 a bottle and the different bundle packages that the company has. So I'll let them look at that, and they'll go, oh, so it's $60. And then they'll see the shipping, $15 if they get one bottle, and they'll go, oh, wow. I'll say, look, Mary, I have some extra at hand. So if you want to pick up a bottle for $60, I can save you the shipping. And, $15.99, people want to save on the shipping. Let me tell you right now. So they're happy to pay the $60, okay? And if they need more information or whatever, don't try to force sell, okay? Just let people do what they're going to do, okay? So that's where the follow-up comes in, like Betty said. So if somebody says, no, I want to look at it more, Lily, that's fine. Okay, Mary, that's good. I'll call you tomorrow, whatever, and see if you had any other questions. See, there's where you got to follow up. So don't be pushy. Just give them what they want at the time. So I just wanted to give you some tips on how to get into a conversation.
Let me jump in there and ask you to answer this question. Most people that I've spoken to don't know how to start the conversation. So they're next to a person on the bus, or they're next to a person at their health club, or they're at work, or tell the folks how to start the conversation.
Okay, I'm going to give you a demonstration of what happened when I went to get my hair cut. So there was another guy sitting in the seat, beautician that comes out. And she says, Lenny, I still got this customer here. And I said, oh, that's okay. And so I just sat down by another lady, because the waiting room. And I just said, how you doing? How are things, or how's your day going? One of those. And some people will talk, some won't. And then you got to deal with that. But most people will say, oh, it's pretty good. And I'm having a good day and so forth. I said, that's nice. And I go, oh, is that your husband getting his hair cut? She goes, yeah, but he doesn't have any hair. I said, that's all right. I said, I got a lot of hair. And I told her my age at the time. So I'm up there, guys. I'm 60. I just turned 60, but I told her my age. And she says, are you kidding me? Is that real? See how I'm just getting into a conversation? I didn't go into tonic right away. And that's your real hair? I said, yeah. I said, it's probably that stuff I drink. And she goes, what are you talking about? Oh, there's some stuff that I found that's really good, and it's helped me not only with my hair, but other things. Oh, what is it? See, so that's how you start a conversation, Anthony. You just want to be friendly, ask them how they're doing, or if you see somebody not feeling good, that's a great opportunity, because that happened to me before. I was in Safeway, and the lady was, at the sock section. And I saw her look at the ones they breathe better for, I guess some people have gout on their legs, or they have other problems, circulation. So she looks at me and she says, can you spot those, they're socks? I forgot the name, but I said, I know exactly what you want. I said, what's going on? And she goes, oh, I got some bad arthritis in my feet. I'm swollen. I got some problems and I can't wear regular socks. And I said, oh, that's too bad. Here they are. And I said, where are you from? And she told me, and I just said, well, so do you take anything to help that? She goes, oh, man, I've been to the doctor several times. I said, you know what? I found something that's really helped me. And she goes, wow, well, what is it? We're in the store. And some people are going to talk if they have time. Some people don't. But if they're in pain, believe me, they're going to talk to you. So just to make a long story short, we talked, I opened up, showed her the blue booklet, because I always carry it in my back pocket. I just underlined a few things that I thought would be good for that circulation part. And guess what? She gave me her phone number. I've had people say, well, could I try this? And I said, well, I have a sample bottle in my car. I said, I promise you, I have these little Dixie cups. Oh, yeah, I want to try that. So I've even poured shots, parking lots or wherever, and people get excited about that. So starting a conversation, you don't want to just, oh, yeah, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, I got this stuff for you. I'm telling you, you'll blow it. Just be friendly and then find a way to get in there. If they're sneezing and stuff, oh, what are you suffering with allergies this time? Oh, yeah, let them talk and you'll get the opening. You'll know when. So, Anthony, you got any more for me?
That's plenty, Lenny, but I'm going to hit you next week for a few more.
All right. I just want to give our ambassadors of health, or even if you're a customer and you have friends that can use JC Tonic, just find out how they're doing and then let them talk. Let them know how excited about something you found, and show and tell.
Show and tell. That's right.
What I do. I do it all the time.
And that whole idea of just a regular, normal conversation. And in America, Americans are very friendly. They're always chatting with strangers. Hi, how are you? And so on. So it's easy enough. You just have to maybe guide the conversation a bit to the health issue instead of the baseball game, you know?
Sometimes you want to do a little bit of both, Anthony, to be honest. Because, yeah, you really do. Oh, baseball, yeah, man. Do you play? No, I have some problems and I don't play anymore. Oh, really? What's going on? See, so
hey, I got a sore arm.
Yeah, you can talk about those hobbies, and believe me, it'll go into something.
That is great, Lenny. That is great. So, Lenny, I appreciate it. Thanks. And, a little bit of this every week. Folks, this is the way to do it. This is the way we do it at JC. And, of course, it's the way to do it, period. Love your product. You don't have to be a PhD in how this product works. As a matter of fact, you just heard Lenny give a couple of examples of getting new customers without saying very much about it. Let the little booklet do the job. Let the website send them stuff to their phone and all that sort of thing. So let the info the company has do the job for you. You don't have to get into a long, drawn-out explanation. That's great, Lenny. Much appreciated. So, folks, there we are. Another few minutes, half an hour or so has gone by very quickly. And it goes by quickly because this is all good stuff, good input, a lot of support from everybody. And the support is for you and all of you. And as Lenny said, not only ambassadors of health, but those of you who are consumers at the moment and haven't thought about being an ambassador. It's easy enough to become an ambassador. And then, as we told you last week, how to drink free. I think you should all consider that, and it's easy enough if you have a family to drink free because your reoccurring order every month will go awfully fast. As a matter of fact, it'll go so fast you'll need to order more, and then all of a sudden you'll realize you have a business. You're drinking free, and you're making some extra money, and you're helping people. Okay? So go out and save a life, and don't forget, take an ounce and feel the bounce. All righty. Bye now.
Uric Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and/or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Uric Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.